Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, cats and dogs, this is another episode of 94 Feet Podcast. It's your boy B Zeke in the building. I'm here with my brother Dre.
Yo, what's good, everybody? Happy summer.
My boy Kesey.
What's good, good people?
And we are here. We are coming down to it. The NBA Finals is here. If you do not know, I think the last time we recorded was Game 5 of Dallas and the Timberwolves. Dallas gave them a nice spanking. I don't know the score, and I can recall it. It's
bad.
It was bad. All I know is Luka went off, and they could not recover. I'm not surprised. Well, you know what? I'm sorry. I am surprised. I'm very surprised. I thought after Minnesota beat Denver, they were bound to go to the NBA Finals. I will say that. I thought they were NBA Finals bound, but they turned not. And then Boston beat Indiana 4 games in a row. Now, I want to say easily because
they swept them,
but Indiana should have won 2 of those games.
They actually should have won 3. Let's be honest.
I think they should have won like 2 of those games. So that series should have went further. I think they should have won like 2 of those games.
You know, on that topic, since you mentioned that, we were pretty hard on Indiana because we don't like them. But I wonder if Halliburton played, how different it would have been, because they almost did win game 1. They almost won game 2. They almost won game 3. And let's be honest, Boston had to really earn that game 4 victory because it was back and forth. It was never just a blowout.
So they lost 2 with Halliburton
mm-hmm.
in the thing, and then they lost 2 more without Halliburton.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't think Halliburton is the factor into how they're going to win games. You know what the factor is going to be is them getting more maturity and learning to take advantage of their leads, and that comes with time. They're young. Some of the players on there ain't been there the whole season, and they kind of lost their balance in the going against Boston, who has a balance because they play together all year. Indiana is not a horrible team. They're just young, and I don't like Halliburton.
Young and cocky.
Yeah,
I think
young and cocky.
They gotta find a chemistry to get them over the hump.
Yeah,
that does come with time. I think that, to me, the difference between Boston and the difference between Indiana and Boston was Indiana didn't have a closer. And what I mean by a closer is somebody who can keep scoring.
That's the maturity part.
But I don't know if that's going to be a maturity part, because if you're sick, because the person, game 3 and 4, I don't know his name. I'm not even going to try to.
I disagree, but finish
the guy who was carrying them through the first 3 fourth quarters, like the first 4.
Little Bone Thugs and Harmony.
Yeah, Little Bone Thugs and Harmony from Indiana. He was carrying them in game 2 and 3 and 4. He was carrying them all 3 quarters, and they had a substantial lead. But when it came down to that 5 minutes in the fourth quarter, Boston kind of shut him down, and he was making mistakes that a young player makes.
But that's what.
So I get what you're saying, but I still feel like, even let's say Halliburton was there, I don't think he would have made the difference as far as them being a closer, because he's not a closer. He can't score whenever.
But
he doesn't have a move. He can just score anytime he wants.
That's the reason I said maturity comes where you know how to get a bucket and stop the bleeding. Like a Kyrie Irving, he know when he got to get a bucket.
Yeah.
Luka knows when he got to get a bucket. Tatum, he kind of knows when it's time. I said kind of. I didn't say all the way.
Sometimes,
he's still finding his way a little bit too. But I think Drew is giving them their balance.
One thing about Indiana that I think was missing, I think kind of like the Bucks, they need that third scorer. If Indiana, because the people that Indiana did play with, when they went cold, they went cold. In game 4, it was 8 minutes and 9 seconds that Indiana didn't score not one basket. And when, God forbid, that's the Golden State Warriors, right? Or Dallas with sharpshooters, and they're continuously scoring and missing. So to me, it seems like Indiana was missing just a small piece. And we said it, well, Zeke and I said it all year, because, you can't be objective, Kesey, when it comes to the Bucks. But we said all year, it's true.
Why you can't
Well,
just say?
because
Why you can't just say what you got to say?
well, because
Leave me out of it.
Zeke and I said this all year. The Milwaukee Bucks did not want to see Indiana in the playoffs because we didn't believe they could beat them. And with or without Giannis, Indiana made it look easy with us in the playoffs. Boston barely beat them. And I'm going to say this. I think it leads a segue into your first topic. I am concerned about the Boston Celtics' ability to beat the Mavericks to win a title. I am very concerned for a lot of reasons. I don't know if we're there yet. We're not there yet. I'll stop.
We're not.
But I am concerned, and I'll share it when we get there. I am extremely concerned about their ability to beat the Dallas Mavericks because the Boston Celtics, I have a lot to say about their gameplay and getting to the finals.
Well, like I said, speaking of the Boston Celtics, many would say the Boston Celtics had an easier path to the NBA Finals. Is this an advantage or a disadvantage going into the series?
I think it's a big disadvantage. One of the things that I see, or that we've all seen with the Boston Celtics, is when they're on, they're on. But when those cats are off, they are off, and they are off terribly, right?
Yeah, that's true.
First round, they swept, right?
No, they got what's it called? They got one.
Boston's only lost 2 games, right? Boston's only lost 2 games this whole series. I think they're 12-2.
One to Miami
and one
to Cleveland.
Cleveland. Okay, so Miami Heat, no Jimmy, easy. Donovan Mitchell sat out the last 2 games of that series?
Last 2 games, yep.
Easy, right? Indiana was hobbled. Indiana was easy getting there. No. We can't say that Boston didn't have it easy to say Indiana didn't have Giannis. They had a wishy-washy Dame, and we had a banged-up Chris Middleton. So Indiana's pathway was just as easy as Boston's. Come on now.
I don't want to say that.
Well, I did. Because my take is it was just as easy.
They took what's it called? Took them to 7, and I think
who to 7?
They took the Knicks to 7. Brunson got hurt. I think if Brunson didn't get hurt, it might have ended differently. And as far as them playing the Bucks didn't have Giannis. If the Bucks are who we say they are, they should have beat Indiana. It should have went to 7, but they should have beat Indiana. But as far as it being a disadvantage or an advantage, I kind of think it's an advantage. You have yet to play your best basketball, and you have yet to be put in a position to where you're scrambling per se.
I'm going to disagree.
They
were scrambling, Zeke. They were scrambling. Don't let their 12. They were scrambling. Don't let their 12-2 record fool you in the playoffs because they had to fight for all those wins. The only team they really destroyed was the Miami Heat.
But like you just said, without Jimmy, I think when it came to Cleveland, I think Donovan Mitchell would have got them one more win. Cleveland one more win, and then they had Indiana. Indiana is just inexperienced. I think that was their only thing. But I think that it's an advantage because you have yet to play your best basketball. I think that when you talk about the East, it was Boston, Milwaukee. It was Boston, Milwaukee. And the Knicks came along towards the end of the season. But it was really Boston and Milwaukee. It was Boston's and Milwaukee's to lose. And especially when what's his name? Especially when Embiid got hurt and stuff like that, it became a wide open thing. But to me, I think it's an advantage just because they have yet to play their best basketball. They have yet to have a real challenge or whatever. And I knew that was going to happen eventually, but I think it's an advantage. Kesey?
Take your time. Take your time. What? Proverbs 16:3. It's the Bible app. Sorry.
Really, dude?
Kesey, you've been in a dialogue for 60 seconds and it ain't said a word.
It's fine.
And really, dude, is the first thing you got to say?
I did say something.
What'd you say?
Speak, man. We talk about this recent dialogue.
Yeah, we were talking about this.
He said, Kesey, you was like,
because I was getting ready for
Go ahead. You were going for what?
Sound like your clients.
What I was going to say, but y'all make me lose my whole train of thought dealing with y'all.
Sound like your clients.
All right.
Anyways,
All right.
I done lost track. What was?
Oh, Jesus
I
Christ.
lost whole train of thought listening to him. You know, put the whole Bible on.
What I asked was the Boston Celtics had an easy path to the playoffs, to the finals.
I
Is
wouldn't
this
say
an
nec-
advantage or a disadvantage?
I don't say a disadvantage, but I do say it's not an advantage or a disadvantage. I mean, it is what it is. And remember, we keep saying that every year since we've been doing this. A lot has got to go right in your favor to make it to the finals, and this is the type of stuff we're talking about: injuries,
So
that's
that's
shooting,
okay, I'm gonna let you go ahead.
series. You know what I mean? Like they just had series that go the way they wanted it to go,
But they're number one seed,
just like
So-
the
so it's
Just
different.
ain't no different than when the Bucks won.
We was the number one seed.
I
we
know,
were. We were. I'm sorry, we number 2 seed.
but at the end of the day, we played a injury Brooklyn.
Got injured.
No, Kyrie didn't play none that series.
I'm
James
saying-
Harden got injured that series.
No, he got injured game 1 or 2.
No, that
James
was
Harden didn't play that series.
no. Kyrie didn't play that series. James Harden, the one who got hurt game
Yeah,
one.
Kyrie didn't play in that series.
What, okay, he hurt his ankle in some series. That year we won.
Either way it go.
Either way it go. Whatever.
We had a path to the finals.
We
that
had an assist.
that went our way,
Yep.
Mhm.
and that's the same thing with Boston. They had a path
Man,
So
that
so-
went their way.
So you said it's an easier path
It's not really easier. It's just
compared.
that's just how it is.
compared to the Mavericks.
Ain't no different than when Jordan went to the finals. He had a path that went his way. Ain't no different when the Lakers went to the finals
Oh,
and they won it with Shaq and Kobe.
I
Stuff went their way.
I'm not gonna let. I'm not gonna let Dre tap dance around this. I'm not gonna let you tap dance.
I
around
ain't tap dance. I said
I
what
know.
I
I know.
say.
I say I'm usually
That's tap dancing.
tap dancing.
You tap dancing, bro.
That's
You
tap dancing?
Yeah,
Yeah.
hard.
It is.
You tap
Hard.
dancing.
Like
Lay the salt out. Put your shoes on. You tap dancing.
yeah, you're not even on beat. Just tap dance.
I'm gonna be honest with you then.
All right.
Like we don't look at it like this then.
All right.
They're gonna struggle against Dallas. Cause you're going
You
against
think so?
you're going against a prime time veteran
And Kyrie.
in Kyrie,
Mm-hmm.
and then you're going against a Luka who confidence is on 100,000 right now. The performance he put on that last game against Minnesota,
Luka been balling out all
He-
that series, though.
but he was balling out the whole series. But that last game, he was on one.
he owned Anthony Edwards.
He
bro.
was on
He
one.
Owned him.
He owned everybody that guarded him that game. He was on one, and he going into the finals on one, and that's something you don't want because Kyrie gonna be Kyrie. You don't want Luka coming in thinking he owned one, and he gonna get you.
I mean, some people would say it's the other way around. Like,
No, because Luka and Tatum cross each other out. Let's go there, right?
I don't know about that because see the thing is with the game on the line, I'm gonna give it to Luka before I give it to Tatum.
I'm just
I don't think they can. I don't
I'm
think
saying
Tatum is.
statistics. But
I don't
That's
think
what you're
Tatum
saying.
is
You
as
see
good
what
as
I'm-
Luka,
that's
bro.
what you're saying.
you know what I'm saying? It's almost balanced.
All right.
Mm,
One might be a little better than the other one some games,
Mhm.
but at the end of the day, they kind of balance each other out.
Mhm.
Brown and Irvin going to balance each other out. It's going to
What?
because Kyrie have halves where he don't even score but 2 points.
That's facts.
You get what I'm saying? And this Brown do the same thing where it's halves where he don't even score, just like Kyrie. And then he'll come on and have 20 something in the second half.
But
if
Kyrie
Brown-
will
if
still
Brown
handle.
Was, if Brown wasn't
But
6'6",
But Brown is a
6'5",
but the difference is Brown is a defender too.
He is.
Kyrie isn't.
He
he's
is.
long.
So they're canceling each other out. Basically, it's going to boil down to everybody after those 4 players.
Hmm.
Who's going to show up? Because I think Boston is clearly the better defensive team by a lot.
But
By a
If-
lot.
if Derek White comes out and play the way he been playing all playoffs, Dallas might have some problems. But
If
my thing-
Porzingis comes back, they might have some problems.
He'll be available game 1.
But Gravitt has been playing some good ball. So,
So we'll get into it later. But number one, the funny part is Jason Tatum nor Jaylen Brown would not be initially guarding Luka. It's gonna be Luke. It's gonna be Drew. He's gonna give Drew some problems.
Drew gonna give him something.
Derek White is gonna be holding Kyrie, and Kyrie is gonna give him some problems initially. Now, after they then got balled out on, we're gonna have to switch it up.
Who told you that?
Because they're guards, they're point guards, and they're shooting guards.
Who told you that though?
Who told me what?
That's what they're gonna do.
I could just tell.
They might
Yeah.
put Jason Tatum.
I'm gonna tell you
long
like
on
this:
Luka.
That would be a mistake.
if you put Drew on Luka,
Mhm.
Dallas wins in 5.
You don't have that kind of faith in Drew to lock him up.
He's too big.
Because let me tell you why. Because Luka is the type of player, he's going to play at his same pace all the time. He's not going to change his pace, and that's the same thing that Jimmy Butler does. He plays at his own pace, and he doesn't change his pace.
Mhm.
And
Jimmy
that's
does
what
change
gives
his pace.
who?
Jimmy does change his pace.
No, he don't. Jimmy do what he do.
He bigger. He just bigger.
He take advantage of it, just the
Exactly.
same way Luka does. They take advantage of what they can do, what they're good at, and that's what Jimmy Butler did to Drew. He took advantage of what he was good at, what he could do good at against Drew. He can get him in the paint, and he can shoot right over him.
Yeah,
Luka's going to do the same thing.
sure.
Mm.
You stand a better chance of putting Drew on Kyrie and slowing him down than putting him on Luka.
Be honest with you. I don't
Your
think-
better bet is to put Brown on Luka and tell Brown don't worry about scoring and just tell Tatum to go nuts.
Well, moving on. The same question goes for the Dallas Mavericks, and they had a much harder path to the NBA Finals. They were a 5th seed. They were the first team since the Lakers, since Kobe. I don't know. I think it was 16 or 17, where he beat 3 50-win teams in one playoff series on his way to the NBA Finals. He beat 3 teams that won 50 game plus, and Luka's the first person to do that since Kobe. Is this a disadvantage or an advantage going into the series?
They had a nice easy path too, kind of.
Agreed.
How they have an easy path?
They played a young Oklahoma City Thunder team,
Mhm.
Young.
very young.
They won 50-some games this year though.
Who did they have first round?
Clippers.
Clippers. No
Banged
Kawhi.
up.
Both sides. That's what I said.
I don't
They had a
think-
path that went their way.
Yeah.
And then they got Minnesota after they just put on, they had to pour in everything to be the defending champs.
Nah, no, I'm not giving you that because there's no way after you beat the champs, and this is a 5th seeded team, you should be like, oh, I got this. We got it. NBA Finals, no problem. That's how Anthony was talking. That's how he should have been talking. But I said they had, like I said before, each team they beat had 50 wins plus, despite the injuries.
you-
Oklahoma had no injuries.
But you say that until your body show different. You get what I'm saying? Like,
You tired. You're supposed to be tired.
yeah.
And if anything, Luka was hurt when they played the Clippers. He literally was like, "Hey, Luka, what's hurting on you? Everything. I'm tired. My body is hurting. My leg. I think he had like some knee issues or something like
But they
that."
had Kyrie.
And
Kyrie was
and
pouring. Kyrie was pouring it on that series.
Kyrie was not going ham like that.
He didn't go hammer, but he poured it on enough to keep them in the
to
game.
keep them in the game.
And Luka,
yeah.
all Luka had to do was hit some shots here and there.
Don't act like Luka wasn't still leading the team in scoring though.
He was, but when you got a guard like Kyrie right next to you, that can pour it on
Mhm.
and give you a break here and there because you know your body is hurting. Who did Anthony Edwards have to give him a break?
Anthony Edwards was
Anthony Edwards was burnt out. He needed somebody to step up and give him a break. Cat didn't do it, and Rudy didn't do it.
mhm. No,
Nas Reed didn't do it.
mhm.
All of these players that everybody was talking about was this, and that. When it came down to Anthony Edwards needing them, you couldn't find them. They was casting out lines with no bait.
What I'll say to that is this: when I agree with that, I agree with that a little bit because when Anthony is off, you do have to have other guys step up, and those guys weren't stepping up. So I will give you that. But to say that they should like this is how, because you're talking about two teams who are I ain't gonna say equally, but they rode the same path. They had to beat Minnesota had to beat Phoenix, who they swept, and they beat then they played Denver, who they took the 7 games, and then now they had to play Dallas, who they took the 5 games. Anthony Edwards said it himself in post game. I need to do better. I need to get my training up. Even though he knows, even though I should be tired right now, I shouldn't be this tired. I should be able to keep up with Luka and with Kyrie. Even though you're talking about two, one is a superstar, and the other one is, I want to say, a past superstar. I just think he has a bad rep, but he's still a superstar.
Yeah.
So when you talk about how like they both had both these teams had a Minnesota Timberwolves and the Boston Celtics had an easy path, I wouldn't say that. I would say they had I think Dallas had a rougher path with getting through all the stuff they had to deal with.
What is Minnesota coach name?
I don't know.
Dude that broke his leg.
Finch.
Yeah.
It's Finch.
Is it Finch?
It's Finch or something like that.
Finch blew that series for them.
I don't think so. Why you say that?
You know why?
Why?
Anytime you change your offense up and you make Rudy Gobert post up, you're going to lose.
Now,
He had to think about this. Think
Go
about
ahead.
it like this. Out of all of the games we watch with Minnesota, how many games have you seen their offense was based around Rudy Gobert posting up?
none. I can say he should never be posting up. He should be only getting buckets that are near the rim.
So
He should never be guarding Luka.
my only problem is
All right,
think,
go ahead.
I watched this and I watched this for those last 3 games straight. Because Rudy had Luka on him, they called themselves trying to take advantage of that, right? And making Rudy post up. But it really only slowed them down and made them lose. Instead of them just kept playing the way they were playing it, the same way they were playing against Denver. Or
What's the call was off?
who?
What's his name?
Edwards.
Edwards was off.
Then you put Cat in the post.
And now whose fault is that?
Now Luka was owning him too.
But the problem is,
Who fault was that?
listen, and then the problem with it is like you got Cat throwing the ball into Rudy.
Now whose fault is that?
Who the hell should be throwing the ball to who? Rudy should be throwing to Cat, or Cat should be throwing to Rudy?
Neither one of those things should be happening. It should be Cat is the second best player on that team. Cat should be, give me the ball. I see you off. Give me the ball. I go to work.
He should be,
And he did not do that.
He should be telling Rudy, get your big old ass over there
And get out the way.
and get out of my way and let me go to work.
Exactly.
He didn't do that. You know what he did?
Tell me how you really
Toss the ball.
Dumped him the ball in the post every time Luka was on him. He scored every now and again, but it wasn't efficient enough to help them win games. So that's why they lost games. They went away from what they were good at. Transition defense.
And they couldn't hold Luka.
But they couldn't hold Joker either, or they couldn't hold Murray. But
Murray got locked up.
But you forced him into tougher shots to help you out.
I'm gonna go on the other,
and you transition in order to help your defense out. Because the more you transitioned on Dallas, the more you would have put your foot in Dallas's neck, because Dallas don't play defense like that. You was sitting there letting Grafford sit in the paint and slap your damn shot all game. He was blocking Cat shot like Cat was one of us.
I'm going to go on the reverse side and say, I hear everything you said. I just think Minnesota, because they had to work so hard to get there, right? Minnesota swept Phoenix, which we were all shocked about, right? Let's just call it with no one expected them to sweep no Phoenix Suns.
I thought so.
You did not. You had Minnesota in 6.
I thought they would beat Minnesota. I thought they would beat Phoenix, but I didn't know they would sweep them.
I still had Phoenix winning. Even when it went down 2-0, I'm like, dog, KD. But knowing who Kevin Durant is shouldn't surprise any of us. They had to come back. What? No. They were up 3-0 and literally had to come back and defend themselves and play 4 more hard-fought games against the defending champion. So I think Minnesota, by the time it got to Dallas, Minnesota is not as quick as people think they are. Edwards is. But Minnesota offensively, they don't move too quick. Dallas moves quickly.
They do.
Guarding Kyrie and Luka was a problem for Minnesota. Anthony Edwards was held to season low numbers all series against the Dallas Mavericks.
But you can tell he was tired.
He was tired. I think he put too much pressure on himself. And Dallas did something that no one else has been able to do with these two players all season. They kept their big man in foul trouble. Cat fouled out what? 2 of the games against Minnesota. Rudy fouled out in a few of the games. And Dallas created so many mismatches that Dallas had this in the bag. A lot of people think that it's a mismatch if Zeke is if I'm guarding Zeke because I'm short, right? But it works both ways.
It is.
It was a mismatch for both of those bigs to be on Luka. It was a mismatch. No one could hold Kyrie, not one person on that Minnesota team. So it comes back to Minnesota's inexperience. That's why they lost, because Minnesota played.
Hey.
They played hard. But we also seen, if anyone questions if Anthony Edwards is the guy, I tell you, he is absolutely the guy, because we saw what happened when he doesn't score 30 or more.
I mean,
they lose.
I don't think he's the guy, but
and they lose badly.
I ain't gonna say I'll say this. I ain't gonna say he's not the guy, but now at first I was like, if he make it to the NBA Finals, we might have to look at this Jordan thing.
No,
but now
told y'all that. That's when the curse started. That's when he started losing. When y'all start calling that man Mike, that's when the curse started. Y'all quit cursing people.
But like I said before, Jordan, his playoff career high was in a losing series, so they'll probably be back next year, and we'll see what happens.
I don't know, man. One of the things that I am seeing in the NBA, and let the record show, I am very happy for the Boston Celtics. I'm very happy for the Dallas Mavericks. As a longtime Bucks fan, as a Steph Curry fan, as a guy that hated the super team era, we all got to admit, let's all admit, it is nice to see different people in the finals for a change.
Not really.
Besides the Bucks, it is nice to see that it's not LeBron. It's nice to see that it's not Steph Curry.
I like seeing Steph and Bron in the finals.
I'm sure you do,
because they put on shows in the finals.
I don't.
You don't like them putting on shows?
No.
Luka will put on the show. Kyrie will put on the show.
We're gonna see.
We're
going to see what Kyrie is really made of.
I don't want to see Boston win nothing. I don't want to see. Dallas is a surprise.
This is redemption for Kyrie.
It is.
If Kyrie can pull this off and put on a Finals MVP type of series,
he won't.
He can rejuvenate Kyrie.
Kyrie's already rejuvenated. What are you talking about?
No,
Kyrie is playing like a star.
You know what I'm talking about.
His reputation.
I
think his reputation is already
of not having no issues for the whole season and playing some fantastic basketball all season and go to the finals and put on a show.
Well, here's the thing.
He's going to get paid, and people are going to have respect.
He already got paid.
And he's going to get respect.
He already got paid.
That he deserves.
I think a lot of people are going to change their minds about Kyrie. I will say that since Kyrie left Boston, he's 0-10. So, whether that's I think he was with Brooklyn.
0-10 and what?
0-10. They played Boston. He's 0-10.
And then remember, they have a personal vendetta for him stumping on the logo.
And stuff like that. So since he stumped on the logo, he's been 0-10. So I mean, I'm not.
But no titles have been on the line either.
That's true too.
Kyrie's the only player in these finals but him and Holiday that have won a title.
Yeah, but Boston has experience in the NBA Finals. With Jason Tatum and
losing.
It's still experience. It's still experience.
But it's losing. Is it not?
No, I know why you're saying it.
Why?
Because who they lost to. I get it. But it's still experience. Whether you lose or win, it's still experience.
Listen, this is going to come down to coaching. Jason Kidd versus Joe Mazzulla. It's going to come down to the stars showing up.
It is.
And it's going to come down to who will play 48 minutes of basketball. Luka, get ready to play the whole game. Because Dallas has a rotation.
No, I don't think. Here's the thing. I don't think. No, I'm not really going to get into it right now, but Luka doesn't need to play a whole 48 minutes. Kyrie doesn't need to play a whole 48 minutes. This is going to come down to. I think this is going to come down to rotations, if anything. But they should be playing a lot of minutes, and they know that.
You know what I think is interesting? I saw on one of the sports pages I follow. Did y'all know that Kyle Kuzma had a chance to go to Dallas this year?
Yeah, he turned it
And
down.
turned it down and said they weren't a contender.
I got something even better for you.
And now they're in the finals.
I got something even better for you.
Go ahead.
Grant Williams was on both these teams.
Both of these teams.
At one point
Yeah.
in time this season.
Yep. So he'll get a ring no matter who wins.
No, he won't.
Are you sure? I
I'm
thought you get a
positive.
ring after you play so many games
If
for
he
a
plays-
team.
He didn't play that many games with Dallas.
He didn't play at least 40?
I don't think he did.
Okay.
So he will not. He will watch these NBA finals like all of us.
He's a clown, too.
He is a clown.
He will get a ring either way.
No,
He-
he won't.
he's gonna- I think he does.
He participated in any games of that season, he gets a ring.
Not any game.
Not
There's a certain-
Boston,
Not, there's,
but-
there's,
but-
there's a certain amount of games.
I think he got to play a certain amount of games. You can check it.
Because
But-
who was it? Who was that? Somebody from the Bucks championship that did the same thing, but they were playing for somebody else and got a ring.
Oh, you talking about?
here we go.
I'm trying to
Grant Williams is eligible for a ring with the Celtics. Wait. Let's see here. In case he did not play in the preseason or the regular season, so Boston does not have to give him a ring. Boston does not. If the Mavericks win it this year, Williams played 47 games and is eligible for a ring.
Oh, he is.
He's eligible. He's eligible for Dallas. Boston can offer him one per the article, but because he didn't play one game, they technically don't have to offer because he didn't even play preseason with Boston.
When did he?
He got traded to Dallas before the season started, and
Okay.
then they traded him to Charlotte.
Yeah, because he got into. I ain't gonna say he got into it with Luka, but he was.
He's a clown.
He would have acting a fool.
He's a clown. He's a Patrick Beverly wannabe, but just not as good on defense. Clown.
But so who's going to be the best player going into this series?
Luka.
So was Grant Williams another player that overvalued himself?
Overestimated his value. I don't think he
No, I think
overestimated
he-
his value.
he
I
just
just
didn't
think
get
he's
a-
immature.
He just
'Cause
didn't
he-
get along. He didn't get along with the right person.
Because the only reason Boston traded him is because I thought it was because the type of money he was looking for. So Boston was like, "We're not giving you that type of money."
No,
He I would say he kind of was a nuisance in the locker room,
immature. Like I said,
and then he went to Dallas and was the same
same
thing.
way. Talking trash, coming to the podium, talking smack about players.
He just didn't.
He had that one breakout series against who? The Bucks, and then just thought he was God's gift. But to answer your question, man, the most important player is Luka.
I said, who is the best player?
Oh, Luka.
He's better than Tatum.
Luka.
Who's the what?
Best player in going into the
finals.
series.
Luka.
Kyrie.
I said Luka too, but you said Kyrie.
Kyrie.
I'm listening. Why?
Luka is hungry, bro. He
I
got that
get
fire.
he's hungry,
Mm-hmm.
but Kyrie is a whole nother animal, dude. If you look at it, dude is a problem.
Yeah,
And he can win one without LeBron. I think that's important for him.
he's still Batman.
Kyrie is going to come into this series and put on a show.
I don't know if he.
Because if you think about it, when Bron won his with him,
Mm-hmm.
Kyrie the one who was hitting them big shots.
He was.
Is there a chance that Bron and Bronny go to Dallas?
No.
Kyrie said it. He wants to play with LeBron again before the career is over.
He did say that, and it's not gonna happen.
So what is? So
They got Golden
so-
State dropped
so-
him at 55.
So listen. Actually, he got invited to 13 different teams for workouts, right?
And who do you work out for?
He only worked out for the Lakers and the
who?
Phoenix Suns.
Thank you. People don't even know what he look like now.
Huh?
He don't even know what he
Wow.
look like.
Clown.
Not look like,
clown,
but we don't know
clown.
what he does.
It's almost like they planned this way for them people to not to know what he looked like.
Like,
Why? Because every superstar that you know of They went to their workouts. Why don't he go to the workouts?
Because he's Bron's son. He's riding the Bron name to the bank. Come on, but let's knock it off, folks. We talked about it last week.
Listen. I hope
we talked about it last week.
I hope Bronny come in and do something.
He ain't,
because if he don't,
he won't.
With the way they carrying about him,
you would think he's Jordan or something.
They're gonna dog him out so bad.
Really
man.
quickly.
Skip Bayless is
really
gonna go in.
I did want to talk
Stephen
about
A.
this,
is
but
going to go so ham on him.
He should.
No,
Paul Pierce
let me
is
tell you
going to go so ham.
No. Everybody has been keeping it light with Bronny, and they're going to continue to keep it light with Bronny because they know what happens when you talk about LeBron James or his family, and that's fine. I get it, but let's not act like we don't know what this is. But really quickly though, so I seen it this morning on my way here. The Detroit Pistons owner or GM has a son in college, and he's going to the draft. This man averaged 0.7 points a game, no assists, 1.2 rebounds. He's entered the draft.
Why?
His father is the GM of the Detroit Pistons.
Is he? Have you seen him play though?
What you need to see with 0.0.6.
I'm just saying. Have you done any research to see why he?
I haven't done any research. I have never seen him play. He's averaged 0.7.
At least Bronny can get you three more than that.
Bronny averaged 7 points.
My point is this: it's a lot of what y'all say? Nepotism.
7-0.
It's a lot of that going on around in the league. And
I wish I was Zeke. I would totally try out for the NBA.
And then this. You gotta know somebody. And then this is the draft because this is a really weak draft. So this will be the time for if you suck and you know somebody. This will be the time for you.
And here's why. Who did the Lakers just make a trade with? They made a trade with New Orleans. New Orleans told the Lakers to keep the first round pick.
Yeah.
Don't let them keep it because the draft class is so terrible. They said, nope, you keep it because it was a protected pick, and they get to choose if they want this one or the next 2 seasons.
They'll take the next 2. And my thing is this.
Go ahead and draft Bronny with your first round pick.
Go ahead, drive Bronny, and then go ahead and bite the bullet, fight the criticism.
Do they have to accept that though?
Yeah, the Lakers got to take it.
It's part of Anthony Davis trade.
It's part of Anthony Davis trade.
I know, but I'm saying I remember the trade. But I'm saying is it that they get 2 picks?
They get to pick.
They get their first round.
They get their first round pick, and they get to choose. So if they did want it this year, they could say, "Nope, keep it. We'll take the next season."
And they already told them they'll keep it. Y'all can keep it.
Yeah, y'all can keep it. We'll take 25.
Because this draft is pretty weak.
The next couple drafts are gonna be looking like that.
But they have, they can say it again. They can say, "We don't want this one. We'll take the next one."
How many years can they keep pushing it back?
It's
like 2 or 3.
It's a protected first round pick that gives the New Orleans Pelicans the right to decline or protect up until 2029. That's why we always say they always giving up everything for the future, like the Bucks. We don't got a draft pick until 2029, a first round draft pick. But we got Giannis, we got Dame. But anyway, back to the question: who's the most important player in the finals?
I already said it.
You said Kyrie. I said Luka. He said Luka.
I got Luka.
I got Kyrie.
Big shot Kyrie.
No Tatum. No Jaylen Brown.
Jaylen, man, he too wishy-washy. The fact that he won Eastern Conference MVP, a slap in Tatum.
He should have.
It's a slap in Tatum's face.
He should have. This is low key. This is no longer about to be Tatum's team. Tatum is about to get that reputation of Carmelo Anthony, KD, and those guys who can shoot really well, and that's it. Oh, he can shoot. Oh, okay.
They scores. They're not shooters.
They're scorers.
They can score.
And that stuff gets
played
out real quick. Like 5-6 years. All right, okay, this is what you are. He wasn't even top 5 in MVP voting for a reason.
I'm going to tell you like this. Kyrie is going to be the factor of the finals.
I don't know if Kyrie's going to be that guy.
Dude, he's a magician when he get the ball in his hands.
He's like the stuff he does, the stuff he does with the ball, how he makes his layup, his handle. I get what you're saying. I agree with you, but I think the maturity of Irvin, the best part about Irvin is his maturity. in those games when he was in Cleveland, he was making those big shots and stuff like that. He thought in his head, I'm better than LeBron, so I can make this shot.
Yeah.
The new Kyrie is like, you know what? This is Luka's team. I'm just here to help him along the way. So if it come down to it, and if he's guarded, like I think it was a buzzer beater everybody was talking about that Kyrie made against Denver during the season. Kyrie went to go get that ball, but because Luka was covered, and he made that shot with his left hand, so on and so forth. But that's what I'm saying, like, and that's what a good Robin does. But that, don't get it twisted. That's still Luka's team. He's still Batman.
It still doesn't take the fact away that Kyrie could be better. To me,
I mean,
because
it
at
could
the
go either way.
end of the day, Miami was Wade's team, but
Here we
LeBron
go.
was the king, was the Batman.
Oh, here we go.
Ain't no different than
D Wade had to give
it was
to him.
Kobe's team.
No, it wasn't.
It was Shaq's team.
It was Shaq's team.
It was Shaq's team.
It was Kobe's team,
But why did
but
he
Shaq was the better person at the time.
it was Shaq's team.
It was Shaq's team
It was Kobe's team because who got traded?
And why did he get traded?
because he was older.
Because Kobe didn't want him.
He was getting
And-
older
and
and
why
out of
Kobe
shape.
didn't want him?
Because he was
'Cause it
lazy.
was-
Because everybody was saying the same thing.
'Cause it
This
was
is Shaq's team.
It's because it was Kobe's team.
No, this is Shaq's team.
This is my team. Get rid of him.
Yeah.
That's what players do. Who team it is?
That's what Giannis did the holiday.
No, don't do that. Don't do that. They get they run it by him. Hey, he's gonna run this by you. That's what we doing.
Yeah,
All right,
okay. You
hey.
believe? Listen, come on now.
Here
Shaq-
We have to admit
There we go.
that our Giannis has a little LeBron in him. This is the fourth coach. He got 3 coaches fired, man. Come on, man. He got 3 coaches fired. He got his brother a spot on the team. His bump's brother, in the words of
He
Kesey.
got his brother on the team. Don't say he fired.
He
the
got
coaches.
3 coaches fired,
He
and
did
he
not
got
get 3
Holiday
coaches
traded.
fired.
Okay.
Those coaches got fired for legitimate reasons. LeBron coaches get fired after a winning season. You got a winning season, you get fired.
That was all Giannis. You a fool if you think different.
Oh, I'll tell you.
4 coaches on the payroll. Thanks, Giannis.
Anyways, so I asked who's the best player in going into the series. Who's the most impactful player in going to the series? 2 different things.
Now, impactful player, I'm going to give you Kyrie, and I'm going to give you Drew Holiday, one for each team, because they've won titles. Drew Holiday defensively, there is no better player on the court defensively in these finals than Drew Holiday.
Do you think he can hold Kyrie?
I do.
Hmm.
I do. Listen, just because you get a bucket or 2 on him and there's a height advantage doesn't mean, listen, we saw Holiday do it with Booker. We saw him do it just last round with whomever from Indiana thought.
Say
they were.
that. Say that part.
Okay. We saw him do it with a lot of star-studded players.
He's gonna be holding the Luka, and Luka's gonna give him some problems.
Luka is going to give him problems, but Holiday will hold his own. I think defensively, Holiday is the most important. I'll say that for Boston. But I think Kyrie is going to be the most important player because here's the thing.
Mhm.
People think they got the playbook figured out. Just pass it to Luka, like the episode of Fresh Prince. Just pass it to Will. Just pass it to Will. Just pass it to Luka. I think people are going to think that Kyrie's going to – I think Kyrie's going to be left open more than he normally would.
Mm-mm.
I don't think they'll play a lot of one-on-one against Kyrie. And I think if you leave Kyrie open, don't get it twisted. He's not the greatest shooter, but Kyrie can be a bucket if he needs to be.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm going to say Kyrie is probably going to be the most impactful player because Kyrie also has what I can appreciate about Kyrie is his maturity in the game. He is becoming more mature in the game.
He is.
And the way I've seen Kyrie play this season has been very calming. And I think he'll bring that common championship approach to the game. And it starts in Boston, right? Because Boston, they're number 1.
Yeah, number 1,
67 and whatever.
So 2 in Boston, 2 in Dallas, and then goes back and forth.
Listen,
Yep. 2-2-1-1. 2-2-1-1-1. Okay.
Kyrie is the best player going in, and Luka's going to be the most impactful to me.
Okay.
Because Luka can establish himself as a face now
Mm-hmm.
off of this. Kyrie has been there and done it, so we know he's better because he's been there and he's hit shots in the finals. Luka's never been to the finals, never hit one shot in the finals yet.
Mm-hmm.
He got to go to the finals and prove himself. Kyrie has proven he can hit shots in the finals and hit big shots in the finals and get a ring off the finals.
And would have had more if him and Kevin Love didn't get hurt that year against Golden State. I said what I said.
So you know what I'm saying? So Luka will have the most impact.
Mhm.
Kyrie is the best player going into this finals.
That's what's up.
I have PJ Washington.
You just want to say
Kyrie.
somebody different.
PJ who?
You
PJ
just wanted to
Washington.
say somebody different.
Kyrie gonna get his.
You got Kesey.
Luka gonna get. Kyrie gonna get his. Luka gonna get his. You just said that. You said that gonna get there, and you said Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum crossed them out. So who's gonna be that other guy that's gonna step up? It has to be PJ Washington, because PJ Washington was the guy who was the X factor against the Clippers, and he was the X factor somewhat against Minnesota. Because when those guys were off, they were getting the ball to PJ Washington.
But he's
He's gonna be the most impactful. He's gonna be the X factor.
This is the finals.
This is the final.
Okay, then if we go into that, then PJ and Derek White gonna have to be the most impactful players.
Yeah, I agree. With
I
that.
can agree with that.
Like Derek White.
Whoever has the better series between them two is going to be basically the champs.
I can agree with that. I can agree
Because
with that.
if PJ,
But what's it called? It has.
But they also got Drew too.
They got Drew. They got Porzingis. But I feel like this, and the more I watched the Boston series, the more it kind of came to me as far as going back to the Bucks. When we were asking for Drew to do a lot with very little. When Giannis went down and Middleton went down, he was like, Drew, you up next. Drew's not scoring 30. We know that.
He can.
When?
Drew who? Holiday? Holiday ain't even scoring 15.
He is scoring 15.
You know what
15
you know what it is though.
I mean, he'll give you 20.
His shooting is streaky. That's the problem with Drew.
That's what I'm saying. But my point
And
is
then-
that if you take him, let's say he has a bad defense. This is what I say about Drew. He keeps playing. So if he's having a bad shooting game, he's just gonna make it up on the defensive end. That's what we liked about Drew, and I think Boston likes that about Drew too. But when he comes to Boston, he's the fourth option.
So listen, don't tell me you running with that narrative about the Bucks and Drew.
That we miss Drew and we need him.
Yeah, I am. Defense wins championship.
Do you think? Okay, take Dame out of that.
Uh-huh.
Do you think
We'd
the
have
Bucks
lost.
are still would have won?
We sort of lost.
We should have lost to Indiana.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So Drew was a problem for us too, because of his streaky shooting.
But this
But
is
see,
thing.
and that's
But you hear what I said about Giannis being hurt and Middleton being hurt? If Middleton, let's just say for argument's sake, Middleton and let's say Giannis is out and Middleton is hitting. I'm confident in Middleton and Drew combo. I'm confident that could be Indiana. Because Drew's gonna lock up somebody. He may not get it done on the offensive end, but he's gonna lock up somebody. Like Halliburton, all that BS he was doing, lock up.
I doubt it
Lock
because he
up.
did the same thing against them.
He did against anything against who?
Boston, the first two games he played.
He did.
So that don't change anything, and he was doing that on Derek White and Drew. So at the end of the day, Drew leaving us was on a plus or a minus. We was kind of neutral,
One of them in NBA Finals. What is it?
but it just so happened he got on a team that had the right path.
That he helped get there.
I think either way it go, Boston's in the finals right now. Drew there or not, Boston is in the finals,
You think so?
hands down.
I think it's a tougher role, but yes, I do agree. It's
Oh,
a
yeah.
tougher role, but I agree.
Because Derek White is their X factor after Brown and Tatum.
And
To
they
me,
gonna lose him in the offseason because they can afford to pay all four.
All right.
Tatum wants a big contract. They already gave Holiday a major contract.
All right.
Jaylen Brown is breaking the bank.
I think they ain't gonna make it work.
Porzingis is breaking the bank. I mean,
Porzingis ain't making
they
bank.
ain't got enough for White.
they don't have enough.
All right.
White
Unless he takes a big discount, and let's be honest, the White right now is coming off like James Harden did. Like when James Harden was a sixth man over in OKC and showed everybody that he needs to be running a team and a starter of a team, Derek White is on his way to becoming a superstar in this league.
Hey, but just a little bit off topic, y'all.
Bro, you acting like Derek White is not on the NBA all-first defensive team.
A little bit off topic, though.
What?
I watched the Big Three draft.
They got a draft?
Yeah.
Really?
It was so off.
Ice Cube teams?
Yeah.
They got TV time?
They
get TV
yeah.
time?
Their commentary was so off. They on CBS this year.
Really?
Yeah.
They went to Chicago, but they ain't doing the tour in Chicago this year.
It almost seemed, I don't even want to say the word.
Ghetto?
Yeah.
Ghetto.
Ice Cube, Compton.
It was almost like the commentary was like they didn't even know how the show was even gonna go. Like they didn't even plan it out almost. Like they didn't get a script for
They
it.
get a script until what, an hour before the show?
It was like they almost like freelanced it like us.
Wow. I can't believe you watched it.
I can't believe I watched it because I wanted to see how they draft went.
Oh,
I didn't know they
God.
draft, but I thought they just signed people. I was
So
shocked.
the only team that
Cube said, he said, just run with it, dog.
Look, you know what it is though?
What?
So with Big Three, the only team that has to run it back with the same team is the team who wins the whole thing. Every other
really?
team, you can either
You know, they
can
sued the NBA and won.
you can drop two players,
Mm-hmm.
or you and pick up two players, or you can drop one player and pick up one player. That's how they draft work. So like, say like they got 6 people on the team, they can drop 2 of those and then pick up 2 in the draft.
I know. While we're talking about this,
And the only reason I watched it is, and what made me really watch it was Larry Sanders.
Is he back?
He playing in the Big Three.
That's what's up.
He played last season too.
How'd he do?
He's a rim protector. That's it.
Okay.
And I seen him foul somebody real hard, so that's what made me watch it. So I watched that clip.
They got referees or they call their own calls
Yeah, they
like
got
Black
ref.
Horse?
So I watched that clip of him put.
I never watched
So
this.
I watched the clip of him pushing somebody out the air, right?
I'll let that go.
And that's how I got to the draft.
So you watch it because you love violence.
No, I wanted to know
There's
why.
nothing else
I
on
just didn't
TV.
understand
There's
why-
Nothing else on TV.
I couldn't figure out why he pushed dude out the air like that.
I just know that number one, they used to do like a tour. They're still doing a tour, but their goal is to have a league where they travel to each city that they have a team in, which is very intriguing.
I didn't know they sued the NBA either.
Yeah,
They
they
did.
sued them because
NBA tried to kind of muscle them out of some advertising.
I'm not
TV.
advertising, but like they would cut off retired players for
Yep.
going there.
Yep.
Like you know how they play they
Like
still
you
play
don't
retired players.
get your pension if you go play basketball.
If you go play the Big Three specifically, they ain't letting that ride. So I was like, huh.
So now players that retire can't go play the Big Three.
Yeah, now
They
they reached
can.
an agreement. They actually Big Three won in court of law.
Yeah. Will this NBA Finals determine who's the new face of the NBA?
No,
No.
the stars were hurt. Nothing else left to be said.
You mean to tell me real quick? You mean to tell me if let's say the Boston Celtics win the NBA Finals, Jason Tatum is not the new face of the
He's
NBA?
not the face of the league as long as LeBron, Giannis,
Here we go.
and Steph are playing in this game.
They're not even.
No, I'm just stick with my note. Luka, maybe, because Luka was a finalist for MVP, top 3. Luka has the best.
Let's say Jaylen Brown.
I don't think it makes him the face. I think it makes him finally earn that big old paycheck he's getting.
I don't think nobody who's going to the finals can be the face of the league.
Luka?
They can be highly advertised, but to be the face, I don't see that type of generational talent out of anybody going to the finals.
Luka?
Luka's decent. I ain't gonna lie, Luka's good, but he's European at the end of the day.
What that
That's
mean?
why he's gonna be the face.
So is Joker. So is Giannis.
But they're not the face
Who's the face?
Who's the face?
of the league right now.
Yes,
It's still in the hands of Braun and Curry and them.
I agree.
It has
Joker's a
The,
face.
the baton has not been passed. If you think about it, like we knew when the baton was passed to Kobe. We knew when the baton was passed to Bron. We knew when the baton was passed to Jordan. We knew that. We don't know that now.
So people are saying that Joker. First of all, is so okay. Let me ask you this question. Are you when I say because we had this discussion before about the
A
face of the
long discussion.
a long discussion, and why not? You mean to tell me who is the face of the league right now? LeBron James.
LeBron James.
One. Don't tap dance out of it. Who's the face of the league right now?
LeBron still.
All right, cool. Dre.
Oh, Joker.
The face?
Yes.
No. He's not the face yet.
But remember what I said, and I'm only
So what-
picking.
hold on,
I'm only picking
before-
one because you said so. But remember, I told you there are faces of the league. It's not just one.
So my
person.
thing is like.
It's LeBron,
Like-
it's Steph, it's Joker, it's Giannis,
So my thing is,
it's Luka.
what makes you the face? Like what are the qualifications that make you the face?
I
TV
think,
time,
no,
winning, selling tickets. We've already went through this.
I
East.
think-
Let's
I-
not do this again, bro.
I think we have to do it again. I think that you
We never went over what the
Yeah, we
qualification.
did because we all had three very different things to say, and y'all were jumping down my throat talking about it ain't just about economics. I said it's absolutely about economics.
economics is on there. I will put
Economics.
economics is on there.
Economic impact. Is
Yeah,
what you
Yes.
said.
it is. I will
Yes.
give you that. But my thing about that is this: you can't be those. Winning is a big part of it because if you're not winning, how can you be the face? Because if that's the case, LaMelo Ball is the face because these young kids that are 10 and between 10 and 15, 16 years old. LaMelo's the best player. You see him with that behind the back.
That doesn't make him the face. That
but
makes
he's
him popular.
Okay,
It doesn't make him the
I
face.
get that, but at the end of the day, when it boils down to it, from age 5 to 50, you know who LeBron James is.
That's facts.
You know who Steph Curry is.
That's
Yep, you know who
facts.
Giannis is.
You know who Giannis is.
You know
You-
who Luka is.
You might know who Joker is, and you might know who you might.
Mike Kesey,
At-
three-time MVP in
when
5
you're
years.
in that 5 to hold on in the 5 to 10 in that age of 5 to 12, they don't look at Luka and Joker them like you think they do.
people look at people.
They're
know
more
who-
into the. They're more. I'm telling you. I went to my. And what made me realize is I went to my kid's presentation,
Mhm.
and all of the boys in his class did a presentation on athletes, right?
Of course.
Of course they did.
And either they picked Kobe or LeBron.
Who did Preston do?
My son picked LeBron.
Not Brooke.
I'm
you
surprised.
talked
he
him
did.
out of it.
Listen, I didn't help him with that at all.
You put him on a punishment if he didn't pick LeBron.
He did all of that on his own. I didn't even know who his person was. I've heard him talk about it every now and again, but I
Mhm.
never really grasped that that's who he was doing his whole presentation on.
Oh, okay.
Preston, you get to go to the LeBron game with me next year when he comes.
So
You can have Daddy's ticket.
that's fine.
I'm sorry, you can have Zeke's ticket because he's grounded until he comes to an Admirals
But-
game.
Well, I
But
guess
that-
you
but
gonna have
that-
for the whole year. Then.
But that just goes to show me that Bron is still the face because Kobe is not here to.
Is that popularity,
to-
like
to-
Dre just said?
but he has the biggest economic impact.
So all the faces of the NBA play on
but hold on,
Christmas.
I don't need you. I don't
They
need you to
play
tap
on
dance.
Christmas.
I don't need you to
But
tap
hold on.
dance.
But hold on. But even
Don't
going,
need to. I already told you.
even going to the fact of thinking about USA basketball,
Oh.
who are they going to talk about the most?
Steph Curry and LeBron.
When you go to jersey sales, who has the most sales? LeBron and Curry. When you go to shoe sales right now,
I got
outside of Jordans, we're not going to say Jordans because that's different,
a backstage
that's-
pass for the USA game, and I
Cause-
only want to see Steph.
and that's a whole new era in itself. The Jordans,
What?
but
Why?
outside of LaMelo's, LeBron's and Curry sell out too.
Well,
Well, there's a lot of different criterias, and we won't
Joker
ever
don't-
get to
Joker-
a person, but we have to acknowledge that Luka is a face of this sport, and if he wins, Luka's getting all the covers. He's getting the video game cover. He's getting the Sports Illustrated cover, and you better make sure, bet your last dollar, that they will find a way to get Luka that MVP next season. Let him win it this year. Let him win it this year. They already got a Christmas game coming.
Unless he hurt.
They already got a Christmas Day game coming, right? Because they won the Western Conference, right? Luka's already one of the leading vote getters in the All-Star game. He has more primetime games than any other European player out there, including Giannis.
Who?
Luka.
Okay.
Okay. So if anybody has a chance to be the face after this, if Boston wins, I don't think they're a face. You know why?
Why?
Because they're boring.
What?
They're boring to watch. Compared to Luka and Dallas, Luka's a crybaby, but Boston is boring to watch.
Boston is boring to watch because they ain't playing nobody this playoffs. I'm not gonna hold you. They didn't play anybody this playoff. If you want somebody to pay attention, if they went to game 7 with Cleveland, we all be watching. If they went to game 6 with Indiana, we all be watching. But because
Bucks,
they blew
maybe. Boring.
because they blew them out, I don't want to say boring. I think it's a little extreme. As far as the face goes, very interesting. I feel like Luka will be the face, and I feel like if Boston wins, it depends on how they win. If Jason Tatum, if he takes a stride where he undeniably is the best player on the court, I think you're going to see something I think you're going to see the NBA really pushing for him to be the next guy up. But
I mean, he can be, but at the end of the day, right now, until Bron and Steph retire, they're the faces.
They're the face.
But here's the thing about that. Here's the thing about them being the face. I will agree with you that they are the most popular. And if you ask a woman, hey, do you know who LeBron? They know who LeBron James is. They know who Steph Curry is.
They know who Giannis is.
If they in Milwaukee, they know who Giannis is.
Giannis is the most liked.
We're in Milwaukee.
In New York.
If you go to California, you be like, yeah, I know Giannis.
Bro,
kinda.
they want him in LA. What are you smoking? They want him in LA and New York.
These are from basketball perspectives.
They
don't
want
act
him,
like
they want him in both of those
don't
markets.
act like I can't go to New York and find 10 people who be like, yeah, I'll pick Melo over
Bro,
Giannis.
No, at
Or
Knicks games,
I'll
he
pick-
gets more cheers than the Knicks. The fans be waiting for the game to be over to shower Giannis. What are you talking about?
What I'm saying is this.
Give Giannis his flowers.
And then Giannis' flowers.
Give him his flowers for popularity.
You the one trying to kick his brother off the team and piss him off, but you want to give Giannis his flowers.
That's business. That's business.
Oh my!
The fan in me, you can get your flowers with popularity. Tone, would you take Giannis on your Knicks?
Of course he would.
Okay.
We're talking about faces of the league.
And Giannis is one.
In the top 5 selling jerseys, Jason Tatum. Well, number 1 is Steph. After that is Jason Tatum. Then after that is LeBron James.
Sounds like you're making that.
And then it's Victor. Those were the top selling jerseys.
But that's crazy though. At year 20,
Here we go.
going into 22,
Please don't.
and what year is Steph?
Please
in?
don't.
the one that brought it up.
What year is
we
This is
we
my
were
fault.
far away from
This is my fault.
we were
This is my
we
fault.
were almost
Okay.
home.
So you said it's
Listen.
my fault?
Yes.
Listen,
You the one that brought this mess
year
up.
year 21.
He even brought his family in and talking about my son did a report.
All
He had to even break his bloodline in it, bro.
Hey.
What?
No, it was
Talk
based
about
off-
raising them wrong.
It was the honest truth talking about face of the league though. Whether you want to admit it or not, he's the face.
So the top selling jerseys this year, which also makes you the face.
That's a part of it. Don't act like that's the face. You're just popular. You're just popular.
So I'm gonna give you the top 5. You ready?
Go ahead.
Steph Curry, number 1.
I said that.
LeBron, number 2.
Okay.
Tatum, number 3.
Uh-huh.
Victor, number 4.
Uh-huh.
Giannis, number 5.
Okay.
And number 6, we'll just stop at 6, is Luka.
Okay. So
All of those in their own right.
What's Joker at on there?
Joker is 13. So fine, I'll go through them.
You
7,
can go through all
Devin
of them.
Booker. 8, Kevin Durant. 9, Dame Lillard. 10, Tyrese Maxey. 11, Morant.
Tyrese Maxey.
11, Morant. Dude, the young kids love Maxey.
I know, but I didn't know
12,
about that.
Embiid. 13, Joker. 14, LaMelo. 15, Brunson. But here's what's interesting, though. If you go down to the top selling team merchandise,
of course it's gonna be Lakers.
number 1's the Lakers. Number 2 is Boston. Number 3 is Golden State. Number 4 is the Milwaukee Bucks.
Yeah, we support our teams.
Well, we know. We were hats. And yeah. So
You got a Chicago. I didn't even realize you had a Chicago White Sox.
they
hat.
played this weekend,
First
too,
of
and the
all-
Brewers won 3 games
First
to
of all,
home.
this just goes with the fit. Don't do that. My point is
It's not a
this.
Yankee, so you can't say it go with the fit.
Oh yeah.
How you doing?
You
Or
heard
it's
what
not a
Jay-
Dodgers.
you
You could maybe even do a Dodgers.
You heard what Jay said. You heard what Jigga said.
It goes to Jordan.
Black hat, black t-shirt, black shit. What are you talking about, Tom?
Oh,
Huh.
LA, Compton.
Oh, and you have on Ice Cube, and we played Ice
If,
Cube.
if you're gonna go that route, Tom, I would put on some Chucks too.
You should have,
You shoulda.
and you might as well two-step
And you
with it
know
too. See,
first of
walk
all,
with it too.
Get your.
Not like
Crip
us.
walk.
Anyways, we're going off topic here. My thing is, we did talk about the face. We
That
did
is what
talk about
94 feet is, man.
we did talk about numerous of ways you can say the face. LeBron James being the face, I don't know if he's the face anymore. I honestly feel like he's just the most popular person in the league. And you got to be deaf, blind, and almost stupid to not know who LeBron James is. He's been doing it for 20 years. Now, Steph Curry, LeBron James, KD, they're part of a class that is slowly but surely fading away.
Agree.
So
Agreed.
you can't. I don't want to say you can't even. That's why when they come out with two lists every year, the number one ranked player or the top 10 or top 25, top 50. They come up with rankings every year, and then they come with the under 25, top 25, under 25. Number one for the last consecutive, maybe like 2-3 years, maybe even 4 years, as long as he's been in the league, actually, honestly, has been Luka. Has been number one, been Luka. Number two has usually been Tatum. If Tatum's not number two, he's been number three. He's in that top 5. So we're talking about two guys who are in the top 5 under 25. And then we're also talking about two guys who are also in the rankings of top 10 of being the best players in the league. So that's why I brought this topic up. But I just, for you to bring up Curry and LeBron, I think they're the most popular. I don't think they're the faces of the league. That's just my
They're the faces of the league still, regardless of how you want to look at it. And
like I said before, it's your opinion.
And if you really want to get jiggy with it, yeah, the commentator who don't bring up Bron in any conversation, and this is final, and he's not even in the finals, and he's still in the conversation.
I know the feeling.
So it is what it is.
I mean, LeBron know how to get talked about. I give him that.
Especially on this podcast.
You tell him.
I don't care if you like it or not.
This is what I'll say to that. I watch 2 things every morning. Well, almost every morning. First Take and what's your show with Greeny come on?
With who?
With Greeny, Mike Greeny.
Pardon the interruption?
No, not Pardon the Interruption. Get Up.
Get Up.
Get Up.
I like Get Up.
Get Up
I
and First
like
Take.
Get
They
Up.
actually
It's a
come on
little
back
more
to back.
authentic.
Now, here's the thing about that. Number one, you always got to talk about 3 teams. Los Angeles Lakers,
Golden State Warriors,
the Dallas Cowboys. Those are the 2 teams you always got to bring up. No matter what the situation is, no matter what's going on, you always got to bring those 2
They're
teams
gonna
up.
suck this year, by the way. I can't wait to see it. Yeah.
I can't wait till y'all lose. I want to see how much love Jordan Love gonna be getting for his sophomore season. You don't leave that alone, though.
Rockets got the 5th hardest schedule this year. They say.
I know. And the Bears is going. This is, you know what? I'm not gonna get into
No,
that.
the Bears. We
But
will
anyways,
ever own the Bears.
so let's go championship predictions and then finals MVP predictions.
Get it. I am going to preface, and don't interrupt me. Quit beating around the bush. Just let me
Are you
preface.
gonna tap dance?
Let me make my statement.
Please don't make me tap dance.
I don't tap dance. I feel that this can go either way.
There you go. All top. New Year's tap dance.
It can go either way. But I am picking. I'm going to say this. If they don't get it done this year, Jason Tatum will never win a title. I'm going with the Boston Celtics in 7. I think this series has the potential to go the long haul.
Mm-hmm.
And I think home court's going to matter. So I'm going with Boston in 6 or 7. And the MVP, I am going to give it to Jason Tatum.
Casey.
Let me.
See, that ain't easy. Because it can go either way, can't it, Keith? It can go either way.
Championship predictions and boom.
Mm-hmm. Take your time.
I'm going with Dallas. And Finals MVP,
Hold on. How many games?
I'll go with Dallas in 6. No, in fact, Dallas in 5.
What? I'll let you rock with that.
I just don't. I don't see Boston prepared for them.
Wow.
And I see Finals MVP Kyrie Irving.
Wow. Okay, both of those were stupid, but you see Kyrie getting that over Luka?
Yeah.
Wow. I don't dislike it. I don't dislike it. In fact, can I say this, Kesey, before you continue? I picked Boston because I'm cheering for Holiday. I wouldn't mind seeing Kyrie get his second one.
I'm only
just keeping it real. I wouldn't mind Kyrie getting his second one.
I see Kyrie doing it is because Kyrie got a weight on his shoulder he got to get off.
Mm-hmm.
And I see Kyrie coming in with a different mentality than everybody else that's on the floor that they don't have because Tatum hasn't won one yet. Brown and them hasn't won one yet.
Mm-hmm.
Luka hasn't won one yet.
Mm-hmm.
So the one person who got the finals experience outside of him is Drew, and Drew won't match Kyrie's energy when it comes to putting on a performance in the finals.
Mm-hmm.
Kyrie's going to put on a performance that we've never seen before. Because nobody's expecting it. Everybody's expecting who?
Luka.
So if you're Dallas, I'm coming in the series thinking, Kyrie, it's your show. You take us home. Luka, we rolled Luka all the way here.
Mm-hmm.
Take us home. The same thing with LeBron. LeBron rolled us all the way there. Kyrie got to the finals and he took over. He put them on his back. But they gave the finals to Bron because he Bron. But if you think about the most impactful person of that series when they won against Golden State, it was Kyrie.
It was LeBron to me, but
I mean, LeBron did his part.
But LeBron commands so much attention that Kyrie kind of got head off in the corner.
So what do you think is going to happen with Luka? Luka's going to get that same attention Bron got.
I will give you that. I agree with that.
They're going to know Kyrie can do his thing, but at the same time, they're like, we don't want Luka to get off. So Luka's going to look at it like, Kyrie, do your thing. He don't mind that.
I'm going with Dallas in 7. And I think that MVP they're gonna give it to Luka and they're gonna push for him to be that guy. The face. And I think I'm going with Dallas in 7 just because I don't want to see Boston win. I don't want to see Drew win another one. I don't want to see Tatum win one. I don't want to see Boston in general win one. I don't want to see it. So I'm going with
why do you
Dallas.
hate Boston so much?
Dallas. I don't care. Dallas.
That's our rival.
Listen, Dallas.
I think Indiana's more our rival now. I hate Indiana.
We changed rivals so much. I'm not even gonna give because we only played one series against them.
Dallas.
We have Boston and Miami. Those are the two teams we see on a consistent basis.
That's our kryptonite.
Those are the two teams we see on a consistent basis, though, that kind of go back and forth.
And just so y'all are aware, in the 2 games they played this season, Boston won both decisively.
That's before the trade.
Decisively. No, these were both in January.
This is before trade deadline.
But the trade happened
in February.
Did it? Zeke, I think you made that up, bro. That trade did not happen in January.
I think it did.
No.
What trade?
Trade deadlines in February.
For PJ.
Right before All-Star break.
they got PJ right before.
Yeah.
So they beat them. The Celtics won 138 to 110 on March 1st. So the trade happened.
Okay.
And then they also beat them on January 22nd, my mother's birthday, 119 to 110. And the Mavericks roster included, to your point, that was before the trade. So before the trade, they had their original roster. They were 24-19. They lost 110 to 119.
They picked up Grafford and PJ Washington.
And lost worse. But
they were. It was finding the chemistry. They found their stride at the end of the season, right when they needed it.
138 to 110. Luka played.
I mean, we both know those seasonal matchups really don't mean anything.
Let's not go there. Let's not go there.
I'm not.
Let's not go
So,
there.
but like I said,
Luka scored. He had a bad game. 19. Kyrie had. No, Luka had 37 points. Luka had a triple double. 37, 12, and 11. So all I'm saying is, if the regular season is any indication, let's not act like you're sweet. Let's not act like Boston's not getting ready to come and bring the A game.
But that's what Boston thinking. They're coming in. They're thinking we're gonna beat them.
I don't think so. I think Boston,
think they
after
will.
losing to Miami last year, I think Boston is a little more
seasoned.
But they're I don't get ego from Boston. I got ego from Indiana. I got ego from Phoenix. And I'll be honest, I get a little ego from the Lakers. I don't get that from Boston. I don't get ego from Boston.
I think Boston has really nonchalantly because they beat every team and they beat every team very well. So I just give really like I mean, I will say there's one person. That's what we better watch out for, Jaylen Brown. I don't like to tap dance around this, but if Boston were to pull it out, I could see Jaylen Brown being the reason why, not Jason Tatum.
Doesn't matter as long as they get a ring.
It could be, but I see Dallas in 6. I ain't gonna lie.
I see Dallas in 6.
Tell them what you got. You want to weigh in on this one? You don't care. That's what I told my people. I don't really care who wins, but I do want to see Holiday get one. What? Bucks fans, we are not interested in this series. Are we, Kesey? We'll watch it because it's the NBA, but we are not sitting here with signs cheering. I'm wearing Bucks hats every game I'm watching.
Oh God. I mean, with this episode, Finals MVP Luka, but
Luka.
Before we get into
Tatum, I'm sorry.
Before we get into small Bucks talk, and we've been all over the place, so I just wanted to throw this out there too. Tony, you want to go ahead and play the clip?
Topic going on right now. Caitlin Clark says she got cheap shotted against the sky. I mean, throughout the season, she's been getting beat up. Hard screens, elbows, knocked down. It is what it is. She's not the first. She won't be the last. My issue and my question is, where the fuck are her teammates at? Where y'all at? Where the rest of the Indiana Fever at? I've seen a couple girls smirk when she's got knocked down, half-assed to pick her up. Like, y'all supposed to protect the asset, protect the star. And all of this is the team. She's the star. You always protect your star. I was someone who protected the stars. You fuck with Kobe, CP, Blake, list goes on. It's going to be a problem because you guys are supposed to be a family. And you wonder why you sit at the bottom of the league right now is because y'all don't protect each other, man. Coach don't do shit about it. Players don't do shit about it. Y'all should be ashamed of it. But the rest of the league is going to continue to test her. And that's what they're supposed to do. It's your guys' fucking job to have her back and have each other's back. Got to do better, ladies.
Now, I brought
Reason 1001 why I don't watch the WNBA.
Why?
Who cares?
For one,
really quick. Hold on, real quickly. I just want to address this real quick.
Address it.
So you don't like women's basketball?
I have not watched WNBA.
So you don't like women's basketball?
I don't. I like college women's basketball, but I have not watched the WNBA game in years.
Jesus
doesn't
Christ.
make me a sexist. It doesn't make me anything. I just don't like it.
No.
So does not going to hockey games make you a racist?
Yeah, I'll take that.
Fool.
You the only black person in the building.
That's a lie.
I'm gonna get to the point and quick and fast about this.
Go ahead, Kesey.
It's a little bit of enviness in there.
Yep. Selfish.
A little bit of hatred.
Selfish.
A little bit of
animosity.
Uh-huh.
First off, the other teams are supposed to do that to her.
He said that.
He was totally.
But that was a dirty play.
He was spot on.
That was a dirty play.
You know, they've been doing everybody like that. And if you watch, I've watched WNBA girls. They some of them be just as tough as some.
They've upgraded it to a flagrant one, and they got fined $5,000 for it.
Who did?
The girl that did it to Caitlin Clark.
She didn't get fined $5,000.
Yes, she did.
But listen, fined. It wasn't $5,000.
But her team got fined $5,000.
Her team and a person is two different.
The person got fined $1,000.
Yeah, I know. So did Angel Reed. But
my thing is though.
She was fine. Did you see her walking to the podium?
Shut up. Listen, Angel Reed's been taking some hits too.
Yes,
I've been watching hers too.
Yes, yes.
So it ain't just Caitlin. So if they're gonna talk about her, they need to talk about all Angel Reese as well. Because Angel Reese I seen her get elbowed in the forehead.
So I was
One of my friends challenged me today, and I went through with the challenge. He said, everybody, I need for y'all to support women's sports and buy a WNBA league pass. It's only $35 a year. And I said, you know what, Al, I probably should do that because I was sitting next to a WNBA superstar. I didn't even know it. And right now, she's number 1 in scoring in the WNBA.
She is.
I
balling.
told you that she was good.
She was balling.
I didn't deny it. I just said I didn't know them.
I'm saying I tried to
Look,
tell
you
you. I
don't
tried to.
like WNBA
I was like,
basketball, you don't like
remember when
Well,
we
I'm buying a league pass. So
you don't like women's
listen, when
basketball?
we sat next to her, I'm telling him like, dude, she's good. Like, you know, people be like, nah, she
Yeah.
good.
and her brother was on the NFL team sitting next to her, right?
No, not him.
No, that wasn't him.
No,
Okay.
but Enrique,
Yeah,
she's
she
that
good.
business.
Oh, she's
She from Racine.
She played for
She went to DSHA.
yes, Divine Savior Holy Angels.
She was a problem.
Yeah,
She is.
she's a problem now.
She holds every Wisconsin record for women's basketball,
She's a problem now.
and she's a problem in the WNBA.
She is.
And she was a problem when she was at was it Rutgers?
So I have a.
I'm
I'm
on
gonna be
school she went
having.
to?
Yeah,
That was Tennessee.
I'm gonna have a WNBA league pass.
It was,
You're not gonna use
Rutgers.
it.
It's only $35. I'm a support.
Because
Because he also made a comment. He said if you enjoyed the NBA before the evolution of the 3-point shot, you would really enjoy the WNBA.
Cap.
Woo!
Look,
Why?
I'm not gonna lie to you.
Why?
I watched WNBA. It's what's popping in. It's a mixture of pop culture and what's going on in sports and stuff like that, so on and so forth. It's the same. I watched the WNBA for the same reason I watched the UFL. There's nothing else on. Sorry,
Is
this
the
is what it
UFL
is.
any good?
There's nothing else on.
I like the WNBA because
But I just I posted this clip because I did think it was interesting. Couple things, like you said before. I don't think it's as many as we think, but I do think there's some of those feelings, some envy, all those feelings are in there in the NBA. And I remember before the first season started, you went on your little rant about the WNBA, and you talking about why is Caitlin getting all this spotlight and so on and so forth, when there had been WNBA playing in the league and balling out before this or whatever. And like I said before, I do think her being Caucasian does have a little bit to do with it. But the thing about Caitlin Clark, and I think but I've heard so many different angles from this. And one angle I heard from this was this is the same kind of stuff that LeBron James had to go through when he first got into the league.
Ain't nobody beat up LeBron James.
And it might beat up LeBron James because he was too big. But when he first went to Cleveland, what were they saying? Who is this dude?
Yeah.
Why is he getting all this love?
Yeah.
Such and such and such. Same thing with Jordan when he first came
none
in.
of them players in the NBA no more.
But the thing about it is when you have a lot of hype going into the NBA,
Drew Gooden,
Darius Miles.
but they're always okay. Y'all can
sorry,
go over the whole roster.
Von Williams.
But the point is that there's been a lot of talk about these guys when they first enter the league, especially because you're getting a lot of hype
and money
and well, that too. But it's one of them things where like I watched that whole game yesterday, and I've watched a couple of games Caitlin Clark has been a part of. They do be on top of her like white on rice.
The part that I don't like is that her team does not defend her. I hate that.
But the thing
now,
about it
is
is
that
this.
the rookie hazing.
I don't think it's a rookie hazing. I think they're not even used to a teammate having this type of behavior towards her. So you can't say, well, y'all supposed to jump on the team, y'all family. In the NBA, we're used to that. Like you go into like Matt Barnes, you're an enforcer. Nobody had to tell him he was an enforcer, but he knew he was an enforcer.
But they had that in the WNBA too.
And Kennedy Carter said after she was fine,
she said,
besides 3-point shooting, what else does she bring to the table?
and that's number one. Number two, she's like, I don't even want to talk about. She got fined. She got fined. Her and Angel Reese got fined because they want to talk to the press afterward.
And Caitlin Clark's stats are better than hers this season.
Caitlin Clark has some nice stats. She has some horrible stats, but she also has some nice stats.
16 points a game,
and
5 rebounds,
she's
7 assists.
and she's starting to come around. So I thought that was very interesting that Caitlin Clark is getting. I don't think it's a hate thing.
How long
think
before
teams
this how long before this becomes a race issue?
It's not a race issue. I'll never be that.
It isn't. But
I
how long
think-
before it comes one?
Exactly. I think this is more of a situation where nobody has ever Nobody has ever come into the league and with this much hype in the WNBA before. No matter how many
No
great
one's
players
ever cared.
no matter how many players they've had greater than her, no one's coming to this much hype. Maya Moore, none of them have never come in with this much hype. And that's a little bit of the time
So she got a lot to prove.
She do. And
So-
she's balling.
And if she's not capable of putting on the show like she did in college, she's going to the window.
I don't think that she'll do a window.
I think she'll be fine. I just think she's gonna have to toughen up, and get a little bigger, and get some thicker skin. Cause she cried when she go home. I bet.
I don't think so. I mean, you would say that you don't like women's
I mean,
basketball.
she's 21, man, and everybody has feelings, even the toughest person.
We shall see.
We shall see. Before we get up out of here, going to the Bucks talk, the New Orleans Pelicans are going to trade Brandon Ingram. They're considering a lot of Eastern Conference teams. Should the Bucks put their hat in the ring?
We don't have no assets.
That's not what I asked you.
Of course we should. Why wouldn't we? Of course.
But
we
the only
should.
person that we could probably only give up for him is Chris Middleton.
Chris Middleton, Jay Crowder, Brooke Lopez.
Jay Crowder is he's not getting re-signed.
heard-
Beauchamp. I said it.
I heard Chris Middleton is requesting a trade.
I heard that too, but it did not come from a actual viable source. It came from one of those opinionated tweets. There wasn't a blue check.
Yeah.
It wasn't from Woj. It wasn't from Sham. It wasn't from Stephen A. It was from one of those opinionated tweets.
Yeah.
I hope it's true. I hope it's true because he can go. I'll take Ingram for Brooke and Chris Middleton. I'll take them.
Really?
Yes.
For both? That's
Yes.
a lot. That's a
That's
lot.
too much for him.
That's a lot.
We gave up 7 players for Jay Crowder.
We mean we gave up 7
We
players.
gave up 2 players and 5 second-round draft picks
Thank
for Jay
you.
Crowder.
Okay.
That's 7 players.
So those 5 of those players probably wouldn't even be good enough to make the roster. 5 of them wouldn't.
It really wouldn't have.
So 2, if that.
We gave up the kitchen sink for Dame.
He's dang. I don't know what you was
I don't know
And
what
we're
you
all sitting
expecting.
at home.
We've been sitting at home
Without our
we had
superstar.
Drew.
We still be at home, whether we made that trade or not.
Chris Middleton and Brandon Ingram are not a tip for tat trading. Y'all know it.
Yes.
It
No,
is.
it's not.
It is.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, it is. Tit for tat.
Y'all
Chris,
really
Chris,
believe that?
Chris
Yeah.
Middleton is a better shooter.
Chris Middleton's a better shooter, both on the injury all the time. Brandon look like he don't care sometimes. Like I think he be coming to the game high. If anything, it'll help his career out.
Okay.
Remain focused.
Well, if that's the case, then send
him-
Brooke. We'll keep him.
No.
Send Brooke.
No, that's crazy. You can't send Brooke
For Ingram?
for Ingram. You can't send Brooke because who's gonna? The only reason I'm saying for Middleton is because he would take Middleton's spot on the starting lineup.
Ingram can play the 5. He's
We're
7 foot.
We're gonna get
He's
up out of here.
7 foot.
We're gonna get up out of here.
He's a small forward.
Brandon Ingram is
Somebody-
7 foot.
But somebody like Anthony Davis,
In no small forward.
somebody like Anthony
He plays
Davis,
small
somebody
forward.
like Anthony
But he's
Davis.
7 foot.
Just think of it
He's
like
7
this:
foot long.
length. But he doesn't have the body to stay down
Nowhere
there.
near. I think you have him confused with
He'll
somebody else.
he'll foul out every game. He don't even have the attitude to even play the 5.
You said he'll foul out every game.
Every game. I think he made one all-star team.
Brandon Ingram is okay. He's not quite 7
Like
feet.
6'10".
He's 6'9". Okay. He's 6'9". Okay,
Yeah.
I stand corrected.
In what position he play?
It doesn't say here. But I mean, I'm not saying y'all not wrong. He played the small 4. He played small 4. I thought he played the 5 because I always see him playing next to Zion, and he's always the man in the middle. He's always guarding the center. That's why I assume he played the 5. Ingram is.
He don't never play the middle.
Yes, he does, bro. When he played us, he was on Brooke. Y'all need to pay attention a little more to basketball.
you do.
I think
No.
he did too.
No, he plays small
He probably
forward.
got switched off on Brooke quite a few times, but
Okay, fine. Switch off. Reason I'm offering up Brooke because we need to get younger, and we don't get younger.
okay. But then
But my thing is, if
who
you
we going after?
Make it a package deal. Bring him and Valgauskas over here. They play for the same team, isn't it? Val. He's a pretty decent.
Valzauskas. Who is Valzauskas?
Val. Just call him Val. They call him Val. He plays for.
Valanciunas?
Is that how you say it?
Yeah.
I ain't gonna try to say it. I ain't gonna make myself look more horrible than my man's over here. But make it a package deal.
Just take the L. You don't bring me down with you. Just take the L.
Make it a package deal. Bring Bow and Ingram over for Brook and Middleton.
And Beauchamp, because they're gonna have to give up something else.
Beauchamp.
Oh man,
Just to win
you
over.
gotta keep Bo, man.
Beauchamp. Get rid of him.
Because they're gonna want something young in return for them making the trade.
Give him a future draft pick.
Just because
Beauchamp.
just because Ingram is younger than Chris, but
Yeah.
Chris is a better scorer and shooter.
Facts. If he plays.
If he plays.
That's the thing. If he plays.
But you said Ingram's pretty injury prone too.
He is.
But then why would we want that?
Because his
He's
arms is
younger.
about as thin as that court.
Oh,
Because he's younger.
He's just a little bit younger.
if he's injury prone, I don't know if I want that here because
can't-
Dame is injury prone,
He can-
and should we say
But one thing about
Giannis is injury
No.
but one thing about Ingram though, he can score.
He can.
when he plays?
He
right?
can score when
When
he
he
plays.
plays, he's 25.
He's like Middleton. They can play when they play.
Yeah, when they play, 25. Easily.
But the minute you scratch them on the elbow, they out for 6 weeks.
And like I said, is for me, it's effort for Ingram because he be strain. It's just a lot.
But maybe he need to get around somebody with a mentality like Giannis.
That's what I'm saying.
That works
That's what I'm
hard.
saying. If he
And-
came to Milwaukee, it would be better for his career
because
or longevity.
He doesn't have anybody in New Orleans with that type of
Yeah, they young.
pedigree.
They young, taking down Instagram models.
Zion's still over there taking down porn stars and
Instagram models.
eating sandwiches.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? And
playing the game, just a stack of sandwiches
it's-
and gumbo sitting next to him.
and the only vet they got is CJ McCollum.
And they ain't listening to him.
I was just finna say that. And they ain't listening to him. They like, you just got traded over here, bro. Just take a seat. Do what you're supposed to do and be quiet.
But yeah, so I just wanted to get that out there, see what you guys thought. So this has been another episode of 94 Feet Podcast. It's your boy Big Zeke.
It's your boy Dre.
And your boy Keys.
Dog, Kesey had a 60-second timeout earlier. I couldn't take 3.
I give you that.
Dang.
I give you that.
That was more
I
than
mean, if you was paying attention, it wouldn't. Anyways, if you catch it, you can catch us on all social media platforms: Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok. You can also listen to us on all streaming platforms: Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Google Podcasts, Spreaker, SoundCloud. Agree with us?
Probably not.
This is the 94 Feet Podcast. Peace.
Peace. Good people.